Yeah. So in the last class, just we had an introductory session, right? What is big data and why Hadoop drawbacks with the current databases? Yes, big data like huge volumes of data. So currently we have got databases for storing the data like Oracle, MySQL, DB to SQL Server, and we have got some specialized. Just I'll take 2 minutes what we have discussed in the last session. Specialized databases like Netezza, Vertica, and Teradata used for data warehouse purpose. But these databases and specialized databases, they can handle data up to some certain extent, right? Beyond that, they cannot support, right? So we have what? So as a solution to all the storage level problems and processing level problems, we have got a framework like Hadoop. Hadoop is mainly meant for two things. Generally, any technology used either for storage or for processing. They're used either for storage or processing, but Hadoop is used for both storage and processing. Yes. Meant for storage and second meant for processing. It is meant for both storage and processing. Hadoop is meant for both storing data and processing data. We talk about like C, C++, Java, .NET, all meant for processing. Oracle, MySQL, DB2, SQL Server, all meant for storage. But Hadoop performs both storage and processing. For storage, it doesn't use any databases because databases has got a lot of drawbacks as compared with this, right? So Hadoop is going with a special kind of file system. It's going with a special kind of file system called as Hadoop distributed file system. And for processing, it is not going with any, for processing, it is not going with any current technology, right? Yes. It is going with an execution model called as MapReduce, and currently we are using Spark. Spark, very high speed processing technology, processing huge data in quick time. All right, yes. So for storage HDFS and for processing MapReduce or Spark. Yes, drawbacks with the current databases. Drawbacks with the current databases. What limit? Okay. So if it, before I go with the drawbacks with the databases, you may ask why if Hadoop is there for storing and processing, what is the use of the current processing technologies and storage technologies? Already Hadoop can perform both storage and processing. Why again this storage and processing technologies? You need to clearly understand, right? Hadoop is for batch applications. Hadoop is for batch applications. Sorry. Hadoop is meant for batch application. Hadoop is meant for batch applications. Hadoop is meant for batch applications. So there are two types of application. What do you mean by batch application? There are two types of applications. There are two types of applications. The first one, online applications. Second is like batch applications. So what is the difference between these two? Online applications and batch applications. Hadoop is not for online applications. Hadoop is meant for batch applications. Online applications, user interactive applications, user interactive applications. User interactive applications. Here user gives the input. User interactive applications, here user gives the input. User gives the input. Example, booking a movie ticket. Booking a movie ticket. Making an online transaction. Making an online transaction. Booking a movie ticket, making an online transaction, right? So here compulsory, yeah, the user need to use the input, like source account and destination account. User has to provide that how much amount to be forwarded and what is the source account, what is the destination account. User interacts. But batch application, user non-interactive applications. User non-interactive applications. User non-interactive applications, right? So Hadoop is meant for this user non-interactive applications. Here, user is nowhere required. User is nowhere required. User is nowhere required. Here, example, railway ticketing PNR status. Railway ticketing PNR status, currently our status is 200. After 1 hour, it is 150. Tomorrow morning, it is 100. Tomorrow evening, it got confirmed. Tomorrow evening, it got confirmed, right? Yes. Railway ticketing PNR status. So this is happening. Here, user is nowhere required. Here, everything happening in the background. Most of these banking applications and financial applications are batch applications, and also like generating credit card statements for millions of customers. Credit card statements for millions of customers. For millions of customers. Generating credit card statements for millions of customers. Railway ticketing PNR status. That's generating credit card statements for millions of customers. Okay. So understood, right? Online applications, batch applications, Hadoop is meant for batch application, not for online applications. So batch applications, user non-interactive applications. And here, drawbacks with the current databases. Why databases are not used for storing Hadoop's data? Drawbacks with the current databases. First thing is limited storage. Most of the databases, very less storage, right? Limited storage or less storage. No parallel processing in most of the databases. No parallel processing in most of the databases. And as volume increasing, speed decreases. Here, see that queries, right? For example, total amount from sales 10 records. Total amount from sales to 10 lakh records. Total amount from sales 10 crore records. Here, as volume increasing from query to query, as the volume increasing, speed decreasing, right? The same way, if complexity increasing, also speed is decreasing here. Total amount from sales fund 1 lakh records. Average amount from sales fund 1 lakh records. Standard deviation of amount 1 lakh records. But here query to query, which query executes faster? Again, the first query. Second query is a two-step process. First sum, next average to be calculated. complexity increases, speed decreases. If complexity increases, speed decreases. So here average amount is a two-step process as compared with the first query. Second step takes a lot of time, right? And select standard deviation of amount from sales one. So standard deviation of amount from sales one means as compared to the first query and second query, the third query standard deviation takes a lot of internal processing. It takes a lot of internal processing, right? Databases can handle only structured data. They can handle only structured data. They cannot handle unstructured or semi-structured data. They can handle databases can handle only structured data. They cannot handle unstructured or semi-structured data. Yes, these are the major drawbacks, right? Yes. Limited storage, no parallel processing. As volume increases, as speed decreases. Total amount from sales one, total amount from sales two, total amount from sales three. Here 10 records, here 10 lakh records, 10 crore records, right? So volume increases, speed decreasing. Complexity increases, speed decreases, can handle only structured data. And coming to the Hadoop advantages. Yes, before I go to the Hadoop advantages, you need to know something about the Hadoop architecture. Hadoop doesn't follow client server architecture. It won't follow client server architecture. It won't follow client server architecture. It won't follow request response architecture. If you are giving request, giving response, that kind of architecture is not for Hadoop. Hadoop follows master slave architecture. Hadoop follows master slave architecture. Master slave architecture. Hadoop follows master slave architecture, single master, multiple slave in this way. Just observe this diagram, right? So single master and multiple slaves architecture. So how Hadoop is able to accommodate unlimited data? How it is going to store unlimited data? Why not the other databases? Huge data storage, unlimited data storage, and huge data processing is possible in Hadoop. Single master and multiple slaves. Slave 1, slave 2, so on, slave n. This is the master. Slave 1, slave 2, and slave 3. f1.txt. f1.txt. This f1.txt is divided into smaller parts. f1.txt, it is divided into smaller parts. See, Hadoop masters, single master, multiple slaves. This we call it as a cluster. Single master, multiple slaves. This we call it as a cluster. B1, B2, B3. A file is divided. So here each system 1 TB. Single master and multiple slaves. So here each system of 1 TB, 1 TB, 1 TB, 1 TB and 1 TB. But here my file is of 2 TB. This file cannot be accommodated in any of the slave because this 2 TB file cannot be stored in any of this S1 or S2 or S3. So it will be divided into smaller parts. Smaller parts we call as blocks. So smaller parts, each one is stored in one system. Each one is stored in one system. File is divided into smaller parts. Each one is stored in one system and processed parallelly. So here two advantages we can see. Huge data sets or huge data objects can be stored, can be accommodated, even it's 2 TB or 3 TB or petabytes. So still, if you've got some 40 systems, your data is divided into partitions, and those are distributed across multiple systems and processed by multiple systems parallelly. You no need to take care about all this. It automatically takes care. Just you need to give what is the size of each block in that system. What is the size of each block that you need to give? Automatically divides and stores across. Two advantages: distributed storage and parallel processing. So your data is stored across multiple systems. Data is processed by multiple systems parallelly. B1 stored here, B2 here, B3 here. Executing the B1, nothing but a T1 task. Executing this B2, nothing but a T2 task. Executing this B3 is nothing but T3 task. T1 task assigned to system 1, T2 task executing this B2 is nothing but is assigned to system 2, T3 task is assigned to system 3. Means master is assigning a task to the slave, so slaves has to execute the tasks. It everything taken care by framework itself. You don't need to perform any of this. So master, what do you mean by a cluster? What do you mean by Hadoop cluster? What do you mean by a cluster? Group of nodes. Group of nodes. What do you mean by nodes? Nodes nothing but CPUs. Connected in a network. Connected in a network. Group of nodes, CPUs connected in a network. There are two types of nodes. There are two types of nodes. Master node, slave node. First is master node and second is like slave node. Master node, slave node. Master node responsibilities. Master node responsibilities. Master node responsibilities. Task assignment. Second is load balancing. Task assignment, load balancing. Master node responsibility, task assignment, load balancing. So assigning tasks to the slaves, what are the tasks assigned should be equally assigned to all the slaves. And third is fault tolerance. Fault tolerance means, observe, if multiple tasks T1, T2, T3 assigned to multiple slaves, see multiple task T1, T2, T3 assigned to multiple slaves. So when they're executing parallelly, suddenly if any one system is down, then the task of it has to be assigned to any of the other slave. That is called fault tolerance. So later I discuss in brief about it. And health monitoring. Next is like health monitoring. Health monitoring. Master node responsibilities, task assignment, load balancing, fault tolerance, health monitoring. Yes. Slave node responsibilities. Data stored in the slaves, data processed in the slaves. Slave node responsibility, data storage and data processing. Data processing. Data storage and data processing, right? Yes. So later I discuss in brief about this architecture, storage architecture and processing architecture. Storage architectural components and processing architectural components. Hadoop advantages: unlimited data storage. Unlimited data storage because of horizontally unlimited scalability, because of horizontally unlimited scalability. Horizontally unlimited scalability. Very high speed processing. Horizontally unlimited scalability, and second is okay, Unlimited data storage is possible because of unlimited scalability. Because observe this. If you're running a business with less number of slaves, for example, with only 3 systems or 10 systems, you're running a small business with 10 systems, S1, S2, so on up to S10. S1, S2, so on up to S10. So your business has increased, your branches have increased, your customers have increased, your data has increased. Similarly, your systems also should keep on increasing horizontally. Horizontally, unlimited scalability. Horizontally, unlimited number of slaves to be added. Horizontally, unlimited number of slaves, right? Yes. Horizontally, unlimited scalability. Very high speed processing because of parallel processing. Because of parallel processing, right? Yes. Very high speed processing because of parallel processing. If you observe parallel and non-parallel, we talk about non-parallel and parallel. Non-parallel and parallel. Non-parallel and parallel. For example, one person preparing one item taking 1 minute. The same one person preparing 10 items takes 10 minutes. The same one person preparing 100 items takes 100 minutes. But in the case of parallel processing, one item 1 minute, 10 items also 1 minute, 100 items also 1 minute. Okay. In best parallel pro, one item 1 minute, 10 items 1 minute, 100 items also 1 minute. Okay. Understood. Here we are saying about persons, but in our terminology systems. Here, 10 systems, 100 systems running parallelly, 1 minute only. Can handle all varieties of data, structured, unstructured, and semi-structured data. It is Hadoop is an open source, no licensing is required. Hadoop is an open source, no licensing is required, right? Yes, most of the Hadoop products are from Apache. You can take it from Apache site, Apache Mirror's site. Yes. Commodity hardware. Commodity hardware means Hadoop can run on any hardware. It doesn't mean that you need to have the highly configured systems. It can run on any hardware systems. So these are the Hadoop advantages, right? Unlimited data storage, high speed processing, can handle all varieties of data, structured, unstructured, and semi-structured, right? Open source and commodity hardware. Yahoo, it has taken a table. See, there are many tests done, right? There are many tests done to check the speed of Hadoop as compared with other things, right? Yahoo has conducted a test taking a table of 100 TB consisting of 1024 columns. Task is sorting based on 16 columns. Time taken, right, by Oracle to process this, right? 100 TB data sorting based on 16 columns. It has taken nearly 3.5 days. Teradata, it has taken nearly 4.5 hours, right? Sorry. MySQL has taken 6 days. Oracle 3.5 days, but specialized databases like Teradata, which are used for data warehouse, taken just 4.5 hours. Netija, another specialized database used for data warehouse, used just 3 hours, taken just 3 hours. Finally, Hadoop. Hadoop has taken 3.4 minutes. Hadoop has just taken 3.4 minutes. The latest version of Hadoop has just taken 1.2 minutes. This is the speed of Hadoop as compared with the other things, right? This is the speed of Hadoop as compared with the other databases. Okay, not only processing point of view, Hadoop has proven in the market, storage point of view also, right? You can just also see Hadoop has also proven storage point of view. Here I got a query. Why databases like Oracle won't support unlimited storage? Why databases like Hadoop? Why databases like Hadoop? No, sorry, databases like Oracle won't support unlimited storage. So if we talk for Oracle in the real time, you can go with multiple systems. Means here databases and the max limit on the number of slaves. Max limit on the number of slave systems. Number of slave systems. First one, databases and max limit on the number of slave systems. Database like Oracle, it can go with a maximum 256 nodes or systems. 256 nodes. Max, beyond that it cannot support. Even MySQL, right? Maximum it can go with. It can go with only 54. It can go only with 54 systems. And MySQL Express is there. MySQL Express. It can go with the 256 nodes. So, and if you talk about SQL Server, it can go with the maximum 256 nodes. And Oracle, MySQL Express, SQL Server, and DB2. DB2 means 256 nodes. Oracle, MySQL Express, SQL Server, DB2. Okay, all these databases can go with maximum 256 nodes. Beyond that, it cannot support. Even databases like Oracle, for example, even if 256 nodes are used, means just like your mobile phone. If I take a labor example, just like your mobile phone, if it is given 64 GB internal storage, if all the 64 GB, if you have filled it, then the performance of the phone degrades. In the same way here, if all the 256 nodes utilized, the performance of the system degrades. Sometimes it won't even start. And talk about the specialized databases like Teradata. If you go with specialized database like Teradata, it can go with the maximum 512 nodes. 512 nodes. Currently, it is going with 1024, right? 1024 nodes or systems. Next, it is Netija. It is going with 512 nodes, 512 nodes. Yes. Currently, it is going with 1024 nodes. And Vertica. Also going with 512 nodes. 512 nodes. Yes. So none of these databases are specialized databases are handling unlimited data, not pass. Once this data 1000 nodes gets filled, they cannot support data further. But there is no limit. But there is no limit on the number of slaves. There is no limit. There is no limit on the number of slaves that Hadoop can have. But there is no limit on the number of slaves that Hadoop can have. No limit on the number of slaves that Hadoop can have. It can go with unlimited number of slaves. Okay. Yahoo when first time implemented Hadoop. Yahoo when first time implemented Hadoop. Went with 4,000 slaves for storing its data. 4,000 nodes for storing its data. Currently, it is going with currently Yahoo going with 12,000 nodes. Facebook when first time implemented Hadoop. Facebook when first time implemented Hadoop. Went with 8,000 nodes for storing its data. Currently Facebook going with it's going with 52,000 nodes for storing its data. So there is no limit on the number of systems that Hadoop can have, right? Unlimited, right? Either 5,000 or 5,000 or 10,000 or 50,000, right? There is no, right? Yes. So Hadoop is proven in the market, storage point of view, processing point of view, with unlimited data storage and very high speed processing. Just now I discussed, right? The speed wise also, like whether it has taken days of time and this has taken hours of time, but Hadoop has taken minutes of time. So just I was briefing you, right? Even like what is Spark, PySpark, need for PySpark, a real life usage of PySpark, PySpark job market. This is so Apache Spark is an open source distributed cluster computing framework introduced by Apache Software Foundation. It is a general engine for big data analysis, processing, and computation, right? And why PySpark? It is a Python API to use Spark. PySpark is a Python API to use Spark. So I said it is the cluster computing system which is used for big data solution. It's a lightning fast technology that is designed for fast computation. It's an open source. It is a and PySpark is used for running a distributed SQL. But PySpark used for creating data pipelines, for ingesting data into databases, also used for running ML algorithms, also working with graph algorithms for data streams and many and need for PySpark. So huge data is getting generated. So this data contains of hidden patterns, unknown corrections, user preferences, market trends, and other useful information. So you need to extract that valuable information from the raw data. So we need to have some efficient tools to perform these kind of operations for huge data. So we need some scalable and flexible tools to crack this, right? Data and gain benefit from this. So PySpark is such a kind. So combining a Python and Spark will be the efficient way for the world of big data. That's why Apache Spark community came up with a tool called PySpark, Python plus Spark, Python API for Spark. Real life usage of PySpark that is used in the commercial sector. PySpark is used in the commercial sector, right? Apache Spark, a real-time processing. Banks and other financial fields, they're using Spark, PySpark to retrieve the customer's social media profile and analyzing, gaining insights, which helps in taking the right decisions. And in credit risk assessments and fraud detections, it is used. In healthcare, analyzing the patients and who is going to face that issue based on these records. And even entertainment industry like Netflix using PySpark. The popular OTT platform like Netflix using Spark, right? Real-time processing, personalized online movies or web series. It is going to process nearly 450 billion events per day, streamed over server-side applications. And also like e-commerce websites like Flipkart, Amazon, all these Apaches, Amazon, Flipkart are using Apache Spark for advertising and to enhance the customer experience, right? Even in the tourism industry to advise millions of customers in this way. Today, PySpark is mostly used and even PySpark has got great demand. You see the job market for it, right? Because of its very high speed, huge data processing at a very quick rate of speed. If you see in the previously, I have shown one example. PySpark, very high speed technology, right? And if you see the salary package for this also like 2 times more than the other technologies or 1.5 times more than the other technologies, you can compare that salary packages, right? In the same way, they'll be expecting the skills from you, the technical skills of this PySpark. So everything will be discussing from the ground level to advanced level with many working examples. You see that course content for it. So this is the course content. Big data Hadoop. What is big data? Need for Hadoop, some RDBMS, advantage of Hadoop, Hadoop ecosystem components, HDFS, Hadoop distributed file system, and map reduce, entire map reduce in brief. Scoop, SQL plus Hadoop. The first 2 characters and the last 3 characters, SQL plus Hadoop for import and export operations. Exporting from HBase to, okay, importing and exporting, and also transformations, filtering and grouping, mergings, right? Yet another resource negotiator and speculative execution, speculative job, and speculative task. Yarn components, yarn architecture, how the processing is happening. And I'll be discussing one NoSQL database also. So 3 processing components I'll be discussing. One storage component like HDFS, one NoSQL database like HBase, and one streaming component like Kafka I'll be discussing as part of this course, right? And a NoSQL database like HBase, Hadoop's database, and how to perform CRUD operations, creating tables, reading, inserting, update, delete, and integrations with Hive and its architecture. Hive, one of the important component of Hadoop. Only you can see jobs in Hive, right? You can see a lot of jobs for only in Hive component. In Hadoop, Hive is there. You can see just type Hive jobs, you say. Just say Hive jobs. You can see a lot of jobs. 11,490 Hive job vacancies in December 2024. Hive 11,490. Only on Hive, if you know that knowledge on this Hive, right? Yes. Carry rate Hive, right? Yes. Big data, Hadoop and Hive. Big data engineer, right? Big data, Hive, Spark, Scoop, right? This one. A big data, Hadoop, right? Yes, lot of jobs for this. And coming back to this, so only with that way we'll be discussing in brief about Hive architecture. It's metastore. It's like just like SQL. HQL is there. HQL Hive query language. Difference between HQL and SQL. 90% they are same, but 10% you see where it can handle unstructured, semi-structured data. Built-in functions, you can see loading data from files, Hive tables, from HDFS files, internal tables, external tables, working with unstructured, working with XML data, Hive working with JSON data, URL weblog data, unions, UDF, UDAF, UDTFs, partition table, performance tuning mechanism, partitioning, indexing, bucketing, and indexing in Hive, right? And coming to the PySpark. PySpark, very high-speed processing, which has great boom today. In this, right, PySpark introduction, need for PySpark, PySpark RTD computations, persistence options, PySpark core computing, groupings and aggregations, single grouping, multi-grouping, multiple aggregations, various actions and transformations, union, distinct, sort by key, count by value, count by key, PySpark SQL data frame API. So creating data frame, empty data frame, struct type, struct field, row class, column class, select, collect with column, where, filter, draw. All these are the built-in functions with many working examples. PySpark SQL functions, aggregate functions, PySpark built-in functions, all these external sources. Deployment modes, PySpark applications, stairs and tasks, driver and executor, building Spark applications. So PySpark streaming concept, integration with Kafka and MLA. Apart from this, even Python, you need to have some knowledge on this Python. So Python basics, Python operations, operators, IDs in Python, flow control statements, looping statements, strings, collections, lists, tuples, sets, dictionaries, functions in Python, and modules in Python, modular programming, packages in Python, errors and exceptions in Python, file handling, object-oriented programming concepts, regular expressions, how to extract required data from the given data, database connectivity, how to connect with the database, I'll show you the installation of one database, Python datetime, operating system related, iterators, generators, closers, decorators, web scraping, graphic module like Excel, working with Excel, data analytics, connection to data science, Python pandas module in brief, NumPy numerical Python in brief, Matplotlib for plotting visualizations, generating graphs. So all this in brief, right? Yes. So I was just saying, so in this course, you'll be learning mainly for technologies like Hadoop, PySpark, Linux, and Python. So Python, nearly 50 sessions you'll be having. Just now I showed you, right, how briefly. So both Python core and advanced will be discussed. Monday to Friday, you'll have class for this Python. You can attend any of my Python batch. So tomorrow, Monday at 8 o'clock, there is a Python batch. And this coming Thursday, if you want evening batch, there is 8 p.m. There is a Python batch going to start. Monday, tomorrow is at 8 a.m. And these three things will be on Saturdays and Sundays. 2 hours on Saturday and 2 hours on Sunday. It goes for 12 weekends in brief. 15,000 is the course fee for all this, right? Yes. Any queries from your side? No. So as I said, said by the DURGASOFT, right, you can see a big message in the Zoom chart. A big message is given in the Zoom chart, right? Link will be changing. So the link will be changing for next Saturday. So you are supposed to get enrolled for getting this link. So from next Saturday, we'll be starting with the things. I'll be demonstrating about the softwares, other things, right? So get enrolled. You'll be getting the videos to your Google Drive. Notes, soft copy of the notes, clear soft copy of the notes will be provided. A WhatsApp group for technical discussions, or if you get any errors, you can take snap of it and post in the group. Interview questions, assignments and tasks to work with, right? All this. So you'll be getting the videos to your Google Drive, notes to your mail address, and you'll be added next Saturday, you'll be added to the WhatsApp groups. Every day, every session videos you'll be getting. If you miss any sessions, you can go through that videos and check, right? and attend the next session for the better understanding. Any queries from your side, right? Any queries from your side, anyone?
Hello.
Yes, go ahead.
Yes. Regarding the practical and labs, what type of preparation need to be from our side? Like what type of device or machine need to be prepared for this? Or there will
So,
be remote access lab?
so for that practicals, right, I'll be providing you like a FIGB soft, like you need to download. I'll be forwarding to your Google Drive, and I'll be just guiding you. I'll be demonstrating you how to work with it, how to use it. No need of any, so just whatever system you have got, that's fine. So
Okay.
basics of SQL required, and Linux anyhow I'll be discussing, and Python also will be discussed. So those are the prerequisites, right? Linux as basic SQL and Python are the prerequisites. Anyhow, Python and Linux I'll be discussing, and basic SQL also wherever required I'll be just demonstrating, right? So don't worry
Oh,
about the software, just I'll be providing you the things.
no, I
You
mean for the hardware itself, is there a specific requirement for the laptops or
So
something to
if
be?
RAM like minimum 8 GB, if it is fine, if it is there, it's fine. Remaining nothing, right? If you have got a good
Okay.
RAM, okay. If you have got a minimum 8 GB RAM required, if you have got less than that also, but the only thing is the speed will be less.
Okay.
Whenever
Okay.
you type
Fine.
any whenever you type any command, very fast or very slow, you are getting the response. Depends upon your RAM capacity.
Okay.
What is
And
your RAM?
how long the session is going to be for the next weeks? Because here I'm asking because for me Sunday is not the working day.
So next week,
I
right?
just
Saturday, so 5 to 7, right?
5 to
Five to
7.
5 to 7, right? 2 hours and 2 hours on Saturday, 2 hours
Wow.
on Sunday. And this Python, whatever you are attending, either you can choose morning batch or evening batch for Python.
Okay.
It will be from
Mm.
Monday to Friday. It will be Python sessions. You need to attend this either weekdays from Monday to Friday, morning or evening, or going through the videos of it. And this will be in the weekends, 2 hours on Saturday, 2 hours on Sunday. Sometimes we'll be extending when we start with the practicals. Right?
And for the Python as well, there will be recordings, correct?
So
You
all
can,
these are live sessions. All these are live sessions.
I mean, yes, but because I'm just joining from different time zone and different even weekend days, weekdays and weekend days. That's why I'm asking mainly about if I missed any session, there will be recording even for Linux or for Python or for every part of this
Everything
training, correct?
for all these things, you'll be getting the recordings, right? Immediately
Okay,
if the session completes, the session recording you'll be getting, right?
great. Thank
For
you.
all this. Okay,
Thanks.
fine. Okay. So if I'm done with your queries, then I'm signing off for now. Meet you on next Saturday, starting with this Hadoop, right? When Hadoop is going, right, you will be learning Python in the weekdays. So by the time this Hadoop completes, this Python core gets completed. When we start with PySpark, Python Advanced will be started. Both will be running parallel, right? Before that, before I start with this, right, I'll be also demonstrating about the Linux commands, right? Fine. Okay. Thank you all for your time. Thank you. Meet you on next Saturday. Get enrolled for getting all these things, videos, notes, and getting added to the WhatsApp, right? Yes. Thank you all. Bye.